I told my co-founder of my nonprofit that I needed to step down. It's a long story, but it's for my highest good because I am not well. Her response surprised me as I thought she'd put our friendship over 3D projects. It's an incredible mission we have, but right now I'm simply trying to hang on to my health and get through the day. It was shattering for me to have to defend myself and feel bad about not meeting expectations, which hit my core wound. I'm a super responsible person, but I just can't do it anymore, and I wasn't in my power sharing this with her. How do I overcome the disappointment I feel about her and myself to get through this? Honey, I think you were right in your power. I think your power is your vulnerability. I think your power is admitting that you can't do it anymore, that perhaps you choose not to do it anymore because you've done this many times, that you said, I can do this. Come on, push through. I mean, those negotiations with the body, with the mind, just this one more thing, just get me through this next week and I won't do this to myself again. Now you're choosing to say, this is really important to me, but my health is more important. My stability, my mental stability, my physical stability, all of those things are more important to me right now. And I need to communicate this to you. And the fact that she came at you with less than ideal, according to what you're saying, less than ideal way about it. Sounds like the energy was pretty harsh. Sounds like she didn't really feel into like where you really were, and like that empathy wasn't there. I'm not getting the energy that you needed to be the victim at all. I'm getting the energy that you wanted just to be seen. You wanted to be seen, and the fact that you showed that more vulnerable side of you is your power. And if we did this more often, and it doesn't mean that we're always like bawling our eyes out or crying, and I'm not saying you did, and I don't know if you did, but you know, sometimes we have these outbursts, and sometimes we walk away and we're like, damn it, I wish I wouldn't have had that, like that emotion. And that's something you can sit with. But the fact that you showed up and you said, I'm not well, that right there is the vulnerability that is your true innate power within. Because without that ability to be in touch with that, you're just running on the hamster wheel. And we've all done that too long, right? And that's why right now the universe is giving us, the planets, the energies are giving us all a time to sit in our shit, to sit in our bliss, to look at options for the future, to say, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Or yes, I want more of that. What do I want more of? What do I want less of? And knowing that you have the power to say no, and knowing that you have the power of saying, I don't want to, I choose not to. And letting other people really sit with their own reaction to that. So yeah, you're on it. You're so on it. This vulnerability thing, I don't know why it has to be so scary for us all the time, because it's such a beautiful, beautiful time and place to be. All right. I feel like I want to say something more about how do I overcome the disappointment I feel about her and myself to get through this. I'm the queen of disappointment sometimes. And I don't mean it from the crown I'm wearing here. I mean it from my mind. I set up myself and I set up people a lot for disappointment because I have an expectation. And while I get it, we work in a collective group, and there is some level of expectation that we need to set and have for things to move forward. It's our attachment to those expectations that we need to really fine tune. Because if we're really locked in to this, it's only pain and suffering, right? Which is what you're experiencing now. And so if you could just be with that, let that energy flow through, that you're disappointed, but that you're also proud. I feel like there's an element of you, and it sometimes triggers people when you talk about that inner child, but it is that inner child that's always trying to please, and that learned how to please, and that learned how to navigate the world. And you learned how to navigate the world through the programs of your family, of the community that raised you. So all of those things are what we're always unraveling to get back to the remembrance of our wholeness. And so it feels like there's just something there from, that inner child place that you want to just dust off and feel into, because I think it's potentially, I don't know all your other storylines, but it could potentially be one of your proudest moments as opposed to one of your most disappointing moments, because you did show up with your heart on your sleeve or wide open, or your gut, just feeling like you're right through the coals. So I think just sit in that and feel into the accomplishments of what you did accomplish and what you communicated. We're all in it together. And I so love that you guys ask all these questions. Please come back next week. You can go to bethbell.me. There's a state of the heart assessment. I think you would love this if you haven't already taken it. You'll see where your state of the heart is. Look, we can be in one state one day and another state the next day. So we know that it's transient, it moves. And the most important thing to do is to have a spiritual toolbox to help us get through these transitions from one state of the heart to another. And so I'll also invite you to the Awaken Inner Wisdom membership. There's an application on bethbell.me as well. I would love to see you in there. We go much deeper on a lot of these topics. It's the free Q&A show is always going to be here at 11:11 on Sundays Pacific time. And the Awaken Inner Wisdom membership is a much deeper space, place, sanctuary where we get into and really release a lot of this so that we can tap deeper into our own inner wisdom. I look forward to hearing from you again. Thank you so much, and wishing you only bliss and love on the journey. Namaste.